to Hall H.
Good to be here.
Nice to see you.
You seem world in. They shot the Battle of the Bulge and the Marlon Brando Mutiny on the Bounty. These are the same lenses they use.
This is tremendous. How are you not like, can you hand me that? Oh shit. Like, how do you not? I mean, you're basically guarding history.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
But it's working history.
Yeah, no, well, actually our question was because we were shooting in such frigid, cold environments. It's so that like normal cameras just freeze and stuff. Normal lenses freeze all the time. And so I was wondering, like, how are these going to work out there in that cold? But the camera department just did a fantastic job of just putting test after test after test and putting them under the right conditions, keeping them warm. We never had a situation where they stopped working and we couldn't work that day. They never had a situation where they froze. It was really. I had such a great camera department. I don't know if I would have the balls to actually have done the film without a camera department that I could so truly trust in pulling this off.
Yeah, and do you feel like a good camera department?
I am not a fan of digital projection. I mean, everyone knows that I'm not a fan of shooting on digital, but I'm not even a fan of digital projection. By losing film projection, to me, we've already seceded too much ground with the barbarians. And so the thing about it is, my feeling is, okay, look, I didn't work 20 years to work to diminishing returns. And so just the idea of shooting my movie and we have a couple of screenings in 35 and then just the rest are DCPs, that's not why I got into this business. That's not the movie industry I signed up for. And so I thought, well, if I shoot it in 70, they're going to have to release it in 70 or else they wouldn't waste that money. So that was the initial idea, all right, was saying, well, if we do it in 70, then I will guarantee definitely some film, quite a few film screenings around the world, even though I know that this will still be playing in mostly 3,000 theaters in digital. But then what happened is once we got these lenses and we started putting it together, then it all kind of really kept evolving. One of the things people say to me all the time, they go, yeah, but we've heard that most of the film takes place in one area, like Reservoir Dogs.
Right.
All right. So what's the point of shooting 70 millimeter for that? And I'm really looking forward to the film kind of my movie breaking that notion, because there is this sort of notion that basically 70 millimeter is for travel logs. Basically, it's to shoot Lawrence of Arabia. It's all about desert landscapes or mountainscapes, and then that's why people would shoot 70 millimeter. No, when you shoot a big 70 millimeter format like that and you shoot it indoors, it can actually be more intimate. It can actually take you closer to the actors. It can make everything more vivid and more vital. So it's not just for shooting travel logs. It's not just for shooting beautiful scenery. It's for shooting great drama.
Well, I think that is an excellent place. Maybe we should show these people some of the things that you're talking about right now. So,
are you guys ready to meet some of the Hateful Eight?
Never before seen footage cut specifically for Hall H. Roll the footage! Hateful Eight! Just a second ago, please welcome to the stage Mr. Kurt Russell! Also, Jennifer Jason Leigh! Walton Goggins! Bashir! Mr. Tim Roth! Michael Madsen! And Mr. Bruce Dern! Welcome, everyone. Welcome.
Good to be here.
That's good. Fantastic. Welcome. Hey, Kurt Russell.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good. You, by the way, until I heard that you were rewriting it totally, then I read it and it was great. My question was, did the fact that you had already had a story for this make it difficult to do a total rewrite? And also, second question, sorry about that, will we be seeing The Bride again, perhaps in Volume 3?
So the thing about it was, what pissed me off about what happened with the leak was the fact that normally I kind of finish a script, and once I'm done with it, I'm ready to go into production. But this was one I kind of wanted to go through 3 drafts. I wanted to get there. I didn't want to have to, there's certain plot threads that were in the first draft that I wasn't quite ready to tie up yet, but I knew I had a couple of drafts to go. So So that's why I was a little disconcerted when it got out there. Having said that, though, you know, my process was my process. So even though I yelled and screamed about it, I kind of kept on doing what I planned to do. So you know, the second draft and the third draft is what I ended up shooting, and was where I was going anyway with it. So that kind of just went on the way it would. It just got more public than I wanted it to get. And we'll see. I never say never. We'll see. All right. You know, when it comes to Kill Bill 3, Uma would really like to do it. We talk about it every once in a while or so. All right. We got to wait for Nita's daughter to get old enough to go and kill her. All right. So we'll see.
I have a question, just as we're sort of weaving this in for Jason Leigh. Is there anything that you can sort of tell us about the essence of who your character is? Because obviously we got some glimpses. Without giving too much away, what can you say?
Well, she's being taken to be hanged by this man, and she's doing everything she can to survive. She's a bit feral, crazy like a fox, I would say. She's pretty smart.
Excellent. And I was very excited to see Walton Goggins and I were in House of a Thousand Corpses together. And you are in a Quentin Tarantino movie now, and I'm very excited and proud for you. I said, I'm just excited that just seeing where we all kind of started out, and now you're way huge. I mean, like, what was it like for you coming onto the set with all this pantheon of actors?
I mean, yeah, look around. You know, really, it was extraordinary. There's one scene in particular. I mean, I can't really go into too much, but there was an opportunity to kind of interface with almost everyone up here, and it was at one point during the rehearsal period with Quentin, I just stopped, and you're just kind of filled with this emotion, because it's like you hope that you can hang on long enough to put yourself in a situation where a filmmaker like Quentin, you know, gives you a shot, and then you look around at all of this talent. I mean, I remember where I was when I first saw every single actor up here, and it's been an extraordinary run, man. It's really a special experience.
You're a very special boy, Walton Goggins.
Oh, I'm a special
Very
boy.
special boy. What is your name, sir?
Hi, my name's Sam. My question is for Quentin Tarantino. I was just wondering, since you just made Django Unchained and you're making Hateful Eight, are you a Western director now? Can we expect more Westerns in the future?
Yeah, I actually feel that when it comes to Westerns, maybe not in the old days when people made 20 Westerns or 25 Westerns, as well as doing other things. But I think, at least nowadays, you have to make at least 3 Westerns to call yourself a Western director. Or anything else, you're just dabbling in the genre. And so I will eventually make 3 Westerns, so I can officially call myself a Western director, and throw my Westerns on the table with all the other Western directors, and then we'll just see how they stand.
I'd love to hear from Demian too. Just anything about your experience on the film, and just the elements of it, and it just seemed very claustrophobic in parts of it. So what was it like?
Well, yeah, it was all that. You know, when you become an actor, this is what you want. You want to work with the best directors and fantastic cast, and so for me, I mean, I've been a big fan of all these guys for many years. And I can only say that I had the best seat on the house. Watching all these guys in action, that was my gift.
We're smarter, a little bit older, but still under control, the best director on the planet.
Hello, sir. What is your name?
My name is Drew.
And what's your question?
Drew?
First off, I love you.
Thank you, Drew.
Oh, that was for him.
I just wanted to ask, recently in an interview you said that you most likely you could stop after 10 films, and I wanted to know how much validity there was to that, and if so, why?
Well, you know, we'll see what ends up happening. I mean, that wasn't so much a mission statement, more that me trying to have a serious discussion of an artist's vitality in public in a world where that's not really a good thing to do. You know, in a world before it was all broken down into like 133 articles where the paragraphs are taken out of context. All right, but there is an aspect of, you know, I do kind of like the idea of 10 and done. There is a kind of neat thing about that. I do like that. We'll see what happens. But you have to keep in mind though, if I go by my normal route of the last 20 years, I usually make about 3 movies a decade. So this is like number 2 for this decade. So even if I were to end at 10, that's still like another decade and a little bit more to finish that up. However, if things change as far as like, if I can't shoot on film, if I can't release to some degree or another on film, I don't know if I'll even make 10. However, we'll see what happens. All right, and I might just say the hell with that and make 15. Who knows? But but I do like the idea of getting out, leaving you wanting a little bit more.
Sure.
I like the idea of getting out while it's like it's still good. I don't want to be out of touch. And and if everything changes, well then I guess I am out of touch, and it's time for me to step aside and let other people take the road. On the other hand, though, part of the thing I don't like about digital projection and all that, to me, it's just HBO in public. You're just watching television in public. So if that becomes what movies become, then I can move to television. All right, then I'll cut out the middleman. And then, it's like, so maybe there's 10 movies and maybe I have 3 miniseries in my future. I can just write my stories and they're as long as they are, and I just shoot it all, and then these little novels for television, and that's all good.
Yeah. People seem happy with that.
My scripts are always too long to get in the, except for Kill Bill, all my scripts get cut down anyway. So if I could actually just write a story and it ends up being 8 hours and all good, all good.
Or it just goes on forever. In 5 years, you'll have to shoot it on Snapchat. Like, there won't even be one movie movies anymore. Like, it is an emoji movie. What is your name, sir?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey.
Martin. How's it going?
Hey, Martin.
This is kind of a daunting panel of coolness, so it's I have a little trouble here. So I'll direct this to Kurt Russell. You've played some fairly recognizable characters over the years. Snake, Wyatt Earp, Jack. People that maybe recognize. How'd you pull those particular characters in to give some spirit to the character that you play in this movie that's coming up?
You're actually very insightful into how I go about my work. I think one of the fun things you can do as an actor, and I kind of figured that out for me anyway, when I was 27 years old, had the opportunity to play Elvis Presley. Nobody else really wanted to do it, and I figured, well, fuck it, if we're going to do this, I'll go down in flames. That's a good one to go down with. And it didn't turn out that way. And for the first time, I got to do something really the way I wanted to do it. And I got to do it with a man named John Carpenter, who we then went on to make And he gave me the opportunity to do things, kind of the way we both saw them, the way I wanted to do them. And I always wanted to try to have the chance to create people that were, to me, hopefully something that people could watch and go, that's a little different. Guy's a little different but I know somebody kind of like that. So I have this tendency to take people from my real life or people from the movie business, take little pieces of them. There's 6 very specific people who are John Ruth. They are my guiding way to find John Ruth, and it all comes from what he wrote and discussions with Quentin. This one was an interesting one. I didn't get this right away. I was struggling a little bit, and Quentin was helping me kind of try to find a way. Whatever it is what it's going to be, but that's a really insightful question for me. Thank you very much.
Oh, well done. Mr. Bruce Dern, love to hear from you for a sec. Bruce, how do you fit into all of this? How do you fit into the story? Who is this guy?
Well,
Bueller.
I fit into the story, I think, because the kid grew up watching me be a jerk on television. And there's like a couple of things I'll say, even though it's not directly an answer to your question. The excitement for all of us was just to be asked by this man to be in his movie. That's number one. Number two, Quentin has the greatest attention to detail on a set, making a scene, as any director who ever lived. If he had a rival, it would only be Luchino Visconti. Secondly, he creates an atmosphere for all of us, not to do our greatest work necessarily, but to get better. And he does that for everybody on the set, not just the actors, but everybody else. And I I was excited to come to work every single day with this man because I thought we just might have a chance to do something that's never been done. That's Quentin Tarantino.
That is, that's a climactic, beautiful. We have time for one more question. No?
Oh, come on.
How can you do that to her?
No, come on.
Don't be evil. Let this poor girl ask her question, or I won't really be able to do anything about it. Otherwise, I guess. Turn her mic on.
Okay,
What'd you say?
We'll repeat it back.
You could have my mic.
Her name is Natalie. Stop. Okay, there we go.
Thank you,
Good.
thank you.
No, yeah, go. We forced them into submission. Go ahead.
Okay. First of all, I just want to say, Quentin, you're so awesome. My entire family loves you.
Oh, thanks, Roth.
And my question is, what is your favorite thing you've ever said or written in a movie?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Oh, wow, that is a good one, actually.
Good last question. And you were gonna let her do it, you monsters!
Oh, gosh. God, that's actually such a good question. I don't really know if I have an answer for it, especially with this Trust for Time bullshit. All right. Gosh darn. I can't think right now. I can't think of anything as far as a writer is concerned. All right, that I've written that was like my #1 favorite. No, I take that back. All right. Yeah, my favorite thing I think I've ever written is the scene in the French farmhouse at the beginning of *Inglourious Basterds*. In my very first script, True Romance, it was the whole Sicilian speech. And I always knew that was the one to beat. And then when I finally wrote that scene in *Inglourious Basterds*, I was like, oh, I think I finally beat that one.
Excellent. Well, you guys, please go.
I'm going to make one announcement to you guys that people don't know yet, so I'm going to announce it out here now. It wasn't for sure, and we just kind of settled it down. You guys know that I normally don't use an original score in my movies. I kind of take scores from other movies and put them in there. And this one I kind of thought, maybe this should have an original score. And so I'm here to announce that the great Ennio Morricone will not only be doing an original score for the Hateful Eight that he's writing right now, we'll be recording in Prague in the next couple of weeks, but that will be his first Western score in 40 years.
Hateful Eight comes out December 25th of this year.